Real Housewives of Potomac. In the words of Chris Samuels, hurt people hurt people. Run, get some help. Giselle, pick your face up off the ground. Let's talk about it. So, Real Housewives of Potomac, this is the final. Wow, we've got to adjust my camera when I get on now. But anyway, this is the final 3-part series of the reunion. And so, look, I'm not going to go through everything that was done. We're going to get to the juicy part because I know everybody's been waiting for the men to come out. Chris come out. He already set the tone. He was not going. He was not here for it. He was ready. So pretty much it picks up with where it left off, where Monique was explaining how she was feeling about the fight. Now, mind you, in my last video, I talked about how I felt like Andy got off track, you know, with Monique. Like the first episode, they were back and forth, but it rolled smoothly. The second time, they kind of got off because they couldn't throw it back and forth at each other because Candace got so upset that she stormed out. So it picks up where she storms out, and then Andy is still trying to get Monique to explain. And then they show Chris and Candace in the dressing room. She's crying. She can't handle it. Chris is like, what? What is it? You'll be okay. Why are you giving this much energy? He's talking to her like she's a kid. Like when the principal calls you and say your child has been acting up at school and you go up there and you say, what's wrong? Tell me what happened. Well, why did you do this? What? She's treated like a child in every aspect of her life, from her mama to her daddy to her husband. So, but she gets mad when somebody calls her childish, but she acts just like a kid. And even her husband was over it. It's like, girl, we here at the reunion. Why is you giving that much energy? Go back out there. Speak your piece. Do what you got to do, this, that, and that. So, anyway, I got plenty of notes today, baby. But we're just going to run through them. So, when they get back, after he gives her the pep talk, okay, all of a sudden, she all good. She's strong. She can handle whatever Monique throws her way. So, they going back and forth, asking her why she pressed charges and things like that. And they still talking about the wine and the incident and how things happen. And I'm like, okay, we over it. And you can tell Andy's trying to push them through this part. Everybody is talking about how Andy is being so hard on Monique. But what we got to realize is Andy has a job to do. It's just like I said in the last video. Andy had to Monique. He had to. He just can't come in and make it seem like he's team Monique, he's team Candace. He got to let her cry. Y'all need to watch Andy's mannerisms. He was real queen-like. And he was like, when Candace was talking, he was looking at Candace like, okay, whatever. When Monique was talking, he was like, okay, come on, let's get through this. Let's get through this. Come on, let's get through this. We almost there. We almost there. We almost there. But Candace with the Cry Me a River, the tears just kept flowing. We was like, okay, we like over this. And Andy was over it. But everybody's being so hard on Andy. And what I have to say about Andy is, it's a job. This is his show. This is his baby. And he knows what he has to do. He knows that a lot of people have been talking about black on black crime is not good for white people to have crime against black people, but it's okay for black people to have crime against black people. So he had to tread really lightly. Y'all gonna have to understand where Andy is coming from on it. He's a gay white man. He the upper echelon of his people. He runs in the right circles. He has to be politically correct. So he could not just let Monique off the hook. But did he want to drive it in the ground? No. But he had to give Candace her chance to play victim. Because if you get it, after Candace kept crying and played victim, she was over there all broken up. And when Monique said, I apologize for my actions, you did not deserve that. Baby, Monique stopped mid-cry. Candace stopped mid-cry. She didn't know where to go from that because she really felt like Monique was going to stick to the script of, I'm not remorseful. I'm not going to apologize, this, that, and other. And even Andy brought it home. He said, she apologized. So now what? Here go Candace. She couldn't let it go because she still needed to be the victim. She wanted to say, I can appreciate childhood trauma. Because, see, she can't get on Monique because Monique put it out there. Andy told Monique what to say. Andy told Monique how to act. Karen talked to Monique. That's why everybody kept saying, this is chess, not checkers. Karen had to let her know, you got to pull a white girl on these folks. You got to come in here. You're going to have to apologize, Monique. You got your businesses, your husband's reputation. You can't be sitting in these executive offices and they look at you as an angry black woman. And no, we shouldn't have to do it, but that's what she got to do. Monique took that advice. So when Monique apologized, I think 2 or 3 more times. Candace was so thrown off. She was, as I can appreciate childhood trauma. See, she couldn't throw that back in Monique's face because she said she had childhood trauma from her mom and how she turned her against her dad and her brother and all this. So Candace had to accept it. I just feel like it took over 365 days to get it. And then Monique was like, here she go with this bullshit. We were in litigation. And then she was like, it ended. She was like, it ended this year of 2019, the end of the year. And then Andy was like, well, didn't it end this? You know, because Andy was like, I don't want to get into this, but he had to keep. And then Candace was like, well, the end of the season. And they was like, well, that's the end of the year. So Andy gave them enough. Andy kept saying, okay, are you know, pretty much Candace. Look, you wanted the apology, you got the apology. Now, either you're going to accept the apology or you're not. Quit dragging on. Quit crying crocodile tears. Quit acting like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Ain't nobody got time for that. Andy was like, can we move on? Because we've been talking about this for 5 hours now. And he's like, let's move on. You can tell Andy wanted to dead the situation. And I understand where a lot of bloggers are coming from, how they're talking about Andy's this, he's racist, he's this, he's that, he doesn't understand this, that, and the look. Andy got a job to do. At the end of the day, Andy's like, I'm gonna get her. Did he let Candace go a little too far with the theatrics? Yes. But did he have to? Yes. He can't let Monique come in and think that this is just okay to do. You got Kenya on internet talking about it. You got Candace on the internet dragging them, talking about it. You got her to drug Portia into it. She trying to bring all these Housewives shows. He like, look, I ain't got time for this. Can we move on? And I was with Andy. She gave you your apology. Either you gonna accept it or you not. So they talk about going forward, and they talk about Karen and how she was showing loyalty back and forth to the girls. And they said, they were talking about the wig shift party. And like Karen said, I did, you know, Karen was like, I know you're going to get me on this one, Andy. But Karen, in essence, was like, look, I got this wig line. And I know these heifers is not coming out of Monique there. But guess what? Like she said, Monique was with me from the beginning of this baby. I was not going to exclude her. Now, did I fudge and lie a little bit about the truth about her being there? Well, yes and no. No, she didn't come to the event. But yes, she was invited. So, y'all didn't see her? Who cares? I don't give a damn how you feel about it. It's over with. I got my promo time. My wigs are selling. I accomplished what I need to accomplish. So, guess what? Bye, Felicia. And she was very unbothered. And I don't blame her. Because they do the same thing. Robin wanted to do these hats. Talking about Karen hat was the worst hat of all in sales. Girl, all in sales, period, you ain't doing nothing. Because let them tell you, website shut down. Ain't nobody, like Karen said, ain't nobody picture on there. You push them to the back. Oh, they're going to be on the premiere page. Nobody want to hear all that, Robin. Giselle, you ain't even got Every Hue Beauty no more. Okay, so like Karen said, she going to do whatever it took on this platform to get her business like LaDom up and running. And them wig lines is rolling, baby. And she on HSM, baby. Well, home shopping. HSN slanging them wigs. So, and then LaDom. So, y'all kiss her ass. Because she like, I'm paid and you're not. And I can care less what you feel. Moving on. So, they was like, Andy asked the girls to do a show of hand to see who was more, if they thought Karen was in more support of Monique than Candace. And then nobody raised their hand but Ashley and Candace. Even Giselle didn't raise her hand and say, I felt like, you know, but Giselle was pushing that narrative all season, but she didn't raise her hand and say, I feel like Karen was showing more favoritism to Monique. She didn't say that. Even her Wonder Twin, Robin. She didn't say that. Even Wendell Self was sitting over there, shouldn't be on the stage. She didn't say that. So, but y'all push that narrative. Karen, pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. But then when you get in people's face, you have to realize she really wasn't showing favoritism. But Candace can't see that. Candace can't see that part because she's stupid. She a little kid. She young. She immature. She dumb. She got all this. She got people that want to kiss her butt and treat her and coddle her like a baby. And guess what? They messing you up because at the end of the day, you still looking stupid because the green-eyed bandits done even jump ship on you. Andy asked them about the jail time. Did they think that Candace filing charges against Monique went too far? The first person to stand up was green-eyed bandit number 2, Robin. She said, no, I thought it was a bit too much. Then here comes green-eyed bandit number 1. Yeah, I think she went a little too far. We didn't want jail time. But you over there looking stupid because you riding with them, and they done threw you, baby, they threw mama from the train. You done hit the railroad tracks, roll down the hill into a ditch, and you dead. They was like, and here goes Giselle. I don't know, maybe, a ankle bracelet, community service. So they didn't even take the fight that serious. They knew that it wasn't that serious for you to do all that you did, but yet you sitting up here riding with them. They're going to show you next season, boo. You on their chopping block. You and Wendell Self out. Because Wendell, don't forget that colorism comment you made, and you looked at Robin like, what you looking at me for? Oh, I'm looking at all of y'all. Oh, they're going to be on all your next season. They're going to be talking about your finances, that you broke. You got all these 4 degrees, but you in debt. Millions of dollars. They're going to be talking about your husband. His family don't mess with you. They're going to be talking about y'all curse. They're not going to understand why people don't want to have nothing to do with you. Oh, they finna break y'all through the cold, so y'all gonna get ready. Sharice, you probably got your spot back because they finna tell them a new egg. And so, as I said. So then, Candace is crying and she all upset and she talking about Karen and how Karen was not a friend for her. So Karen had to shut the little girl down. I'm telling you, Karen is a rich white woman. Like Karen told Monique, if you stick with me, I tell you how to handle these girls. And she did it by handling Candace. Candace been shooting off. Candace said she distraught. She go here. She getting help. She takes medicine. Okay. Andy asked her, do you still take medicine? Tell you why Andy asked her that. Because we talking about legalities now. This little girl done sent Karen a text about, I hope you burn in eternal hell. Not on the show, not during taping hours, but out of the blue, a private text. Karen went to Bravo execs. She didn't go to Andy. She put a Nene bypassed Andy's ass and went straight on up them steps to the penthouse. Baby, when they showed Giselle's face, Giselle knew Karen had made her move. Because even Giselle ain't been in Bravo execs offices. But what Karen did was, she said, I felt threatened. So she put that, what you putting on Monique, she just put it back on you. You felt threatened? Yeah, I can't believe, you felt threatened. Yeah, I felt threatened because you said burn in eternal hell. She almost wanted to call her little BITC. She was like, don't play with me, little girl. Karen said, and she said, I did it as a friend. As a mother figure to you, because you said you stressed out, you on all this medicine. I don't know where your mental state was. And in our contract, it says that anytime we need help psychologically, physically, emotionally, that Bravo provides that. And I went to Bravo and told them that you may need to seek help. She messed her ass up. Andy said, are you still taking medicine? Baby, she was over there like this. She didn't answer. She didn't give a yes or no, because in the court of law, this is not an answer and this is not an answer. You got to say, yes, I'm still taking medicine, or no, I'm not. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. The first time she got out of line with Karen, and Karen go to sue her ass like she said, I'm going to have all this on record showing that I tried to get you help. You done snapped off. You ain't taking your medicine like you supposed to. Let you tell it that you've been prescribed. Your ass is around here shooting off. I'm scared for my life. See, Candace, you can't play a little girl game with a grown woman. You just can't do it. You cannot play a little girl game with a grown ass woman. You just can't do it. And Karen got with Monique behind the scenes, told her, I'm going to tell you how you handle these wenches. I'm going to tell you. Let me show you how this works. And Monique took heed. So But anyway, they move on. They talking about different things like where everybody is. Ray and Karen, he's happy. You know, they ask him about Karen and wanting Ray to pay the money back. He said it was funny to me because this lady right here ain't never paid a bill. And the credit cards that she had, unlimited balances, oh, she was good. And he said, and the stifling that she got every month, baby, I wasn't even worried about. So when she said pay her back and thing, I wasn't even worried. And then they was like, she was like, okay, Ray, don't tell all my business. And it was just cute because they're an older couple. They know how stuff roll. And he understands his wife, and he knows she felt neglected and this, that, and the other. And like he said, it wasn't that I didn't love her or wasn't in love with her. She was asking me like I used to be. And he was like, I can't say that I had that passion and desire like I used to because he's older. His body doesn't react the way he wants it to react. When he sees his wife, I'm sure he's like, oh my God, I got a beautiful wife. And he see all these young guys and all these other people. He probably feels a little insecure. But Ray kept it real. Baby, Ray said, she mine and I got her and she ain't going nowhere. They asked Chris Bassett. Let him tell you, he done sold his restaurant. I didn't know he had a restaurant, but he did have a barbecue business. But he ain't had no building. So was he cooking out the kitchen? Yeah, let's just say he was cooking at the kitchen. So when he say he sold his restaurant, that means that he moved his pots and pans out of his mama-in-law house and took them to the new house. And that's how he sold his business. But now he do catering online. He ain't give out no website. I don't know where to find him. I don't know how y'all can get y'all food. And he's doing online classes. So pretty much that just means he don't have a job. While Candace right here talking about she ain't gonna film with Monique, she gonna be on her next season because she need this job pay for this new house. And yeah, y'all still pretty much in the same situation. Chris Samuels, they talked about him and the bird, and he said he had to compromise. He's not an animal person, but the kids wanted a bird. Monique wanted one. He did it to please his family. They talked about Michael, and Michael's at a wedding, so he's not there to defend himself. And they felt bad for putting Candace under the light to defend her husband. She was like, I'm fine because he's my man and I'm going to defend him to the end of time. Till at least I drop this baby. Until at least the next season come around and I'm going to be filing for divorce. And I'm going to get my check. So I'm good. I really don't care what y'all want to talk about with Michael. Y'all can miss me with that. Juan is somewhere playing basketball in practice. I ain't think practice lasted 10, 12 hours, but okay, if that's what you want to say. Also, they talked about Jamal. Where's Jamal? He's lecturing. What's the topic? How to be a holy whore to the best of your ability. Moving on. Eddie. He just said he was just, what was his reaction when they asked his wife to be on the show? He was like, YOLO. You only live once. He said, we talked about it. And he said, I knew that she wanted to do it and that she would take the offer. So we gave it a try. He's saying, you know, it's different. And, you know, they asked him about his mom and his family. And he talked about when he had his son Cameron 10 years ago, that's when all the issues started. And he hasn't spoke to them since. And he thought that maybe by having a daughter and reopening up that door, that his parents, his family would be more welcoming. But they didn't. They didn't come, as we saw. And then he said, you know, it was hard for him and Wendy in the beginning because they were shut out. They were shunned. But see, they ain't talk about why. So that'll probably come in next season if she comes back. And he was like, you know, it was disappointing and being disowned and being, you know, mistreated by your family. He said, but, you know, we united as our own family unit and we're okay, which I said that was great. And, you know, they talked about Ray, how he's in love with Karen. Been over 25 years. The love is not gone. It's still there. He wants to plan her 25-year wedding vow renewal. Karen was so happy. You know, he loves his wife. She loves her husband. So we were fine with it. Chris Bassett was talking about being able to get out of his own home. I mean, out of the mom's home and go into their home. And so, you know, they talked about their sex life. But, you know, y'all don't talk about sex on the show. Let y'all tell you, y'all turned y'all nose up at it. But anyway, you know, has the sex life been better? Let him tell it, yeah, it's a little better. I still feel like Candace, just like Giselle, is some slaw in the bedroom. And so it works for him because he's a white boy. He probably not wanting much. He probably had these expectations. Now he sees reality. He's like, whatever. Giselle, she looked like she can't get busy, right? So, you know, it just makes me want to throw up in my mouth to see. And Robin, Juan got a girlfriend, so he don't even need her. Okay, moving on. And Wendell Sappho, She reminds me of someone that's so prim and proper, but she'll cut up in the bedroom. She'll get a couple drinks of her. She'll be swinging on a pole somewhere at the club, twerking and dropping like it's hot, and then she bring it back home. So, Wendy, you and your 4 degrees, I know you probably somewhere doing the damn thing, dropping it like it's hot, and your husband, he sit over there and wait, he look at you and grin at you. I know y'all got some stuff going on, so I'm going to give you that one, Wendy. I'm going to give you that one. So, Chris, you know, they start talking about stuff at the house and this, that, and the other. And then they talk about Giselle. Giselle has a security guard. Why? Who are you securing? Cause, and as we see, as we go on, Chris is talking about what was going on when he did the Caitlyn Jenner comment. And if he could turn into Caitlyn Jenner and to a woman, he stumped a mud hole in their ass, slept shit out, all that old stuff. So, but he apologized for it. But okay, old crooked face Giselle, she feel like, because remember Jamal said that he tried to attack Robin and Giselle. Okay, now he didn't say Giselle had a bodyguard, but he had to he said he jumped up in their face. Didn't happen. If it did, they didn't air it. So, Jamal, where your records at? Where your receipts? You done got on here and Giselle done sent you out with some hoopla, and then you done got on here and you look a fool. So, you know, the two Chris's went back and forth a little bit. Candace had something smart to say to Monique. Monique responded. And then they still trying to go with this narrative about they pay the bloggers. And they was like, I don't condone violence against women. And then Chris Bassett was like, but you do against kids. He was like, what are you talking about? He was like, the blogger that brought up my children. And Monique was like, what does that have to do with us? Candace is on Instagram 24/7 or Twitter. You don't go on there and tell her shit the hell up while she talking about Ashley is a bed wench, which is a bed wench. And if people don't know what a bed wench is, it's back in slavery days. Those were the women slaves that they used to satisfy the men, the white men that were working out in the fields, or master's side piece. And then to have a baby by as a bed wench made your child a bastard. So you talked about that girl baby, because Ashley better than me. Ashley way better than me. And so the two Chris's kind of went at each other, and then it kind of got a little heated. Chris Samuels got up. He was like, I'm not finna do this. I'm not finna. And then Chris brought it back. And I like the way the men handled it. They said, we said we weren't going to do this, remember? And then Chris said, you're right. We're not going to do this. I'm fine. We good. No problem. They cut it short. And that's what it needed to be. They cut it short because they was getting real catty. And when Chris jumped up, because, see, he was responding. He had said something while Robin was talking about her and Juan. They finna build a house. I'm like, y'all finna build a house, y'all ain't married. They finna build a house. Her hat sales are good. And then Chris was like, I don't want to hear this. He said, because I want to talk about this rumor that these people started and that y'all been talking about my kids. And it's just disrespectful. So Robin tried to get smart with Chris. Like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I guess she felt some type of way. You know, it's like she was just, because they say this thing about a man should never address a woman. I saw Dr. Heavenly and Funky Dineva do this. And that a man should never address a woman. Well, a woman needs to stay in her place. And I'm going to tell you like this. I can't whoop a man. And a woman's mouth is real smart and cuts deep. And we know what we do. It's not my place to jump up in no man's face and talk cash, money to them. Because why is it that they can't respond? If you're willing to talk it and put it out there and dish it, you need to be able to take it. So I had a problem with all these bloggers talking about he should never talk. Dr. Heavenly, the main one. He should never. I just feel like the men shouldn't talk to the women. Well, women shouldn't talk to the men. Women shouldn't talk to the men. Dr. Heavenly got the worst mouth out of most of these franchise wives. But you would talk cash shit about somebody's husband. And then when your husband say something back about you, then, oh, you can't have it both ways. If you don't want Simone's husband coming for your jugular, then you keep his name out your mouth. Same thing there. Candace, shut up. Giselle, you should have had your man there to defend you. First and foremost, if this is your man, you coming on a show where you know another man talking about stomping your ass out, he didn't care enough for you, your life, your livelihood, your protection to show up on that stage and be like, I got you. I got you. You had to hire a bodyguard that looked scared as hell because he was like, I'm not going to be trying to stop this man from doing nothing. Because when Chris stood up, Giselle was like, can you make this MF and sit down? Andy looked at her like, girl, now you really overstepping your boundaries because you ain't running nothing. You might be somewhat my favorite, but you can't tell nobody to do nothing. And Andy was laughing like, Chris, sit down. Chris, sit down. Andy knew. And then the bodyguard looking at her like, baby, I ain't getting paid for that. I ain't getting paid to come up here and get my ass whooped now. You ain't say nothing about this dude was 6'10", 400 pounds. And now if he come over here and tap you on your shoulder, then I might react. But other than that, don't look back here at me to do nothing that I ain't really getting paid for, because lose my life, I want one part of the plane. So she did all that for nothing. And then here's Robin. I'm so glad that one Dixon is not here. He ain't there, so shut the hell up. He ain't thinking of you to come. He ain't feel like you was worth protecting either, so you shut the hell up. Those that felt like they was worth it, they men was there. And like and Giselle was talking stuff to Chris, and like Monique said, baby, be quiet, I got this. You ain't finna argue with no woman. That's for me to do. Because I know she ain't talking to my husband. That's why you sitting over there now. You ain't got no man sitting behind you. Got to pay somebody to sit up here on the stage with you. Get him on Monique, because at the end of the day, Giselle's face done cracked and shattered so much. All that Maybelline done just slid off her face onto the floor. Baby ain't got nothing left but them 8 rolls in that neck. And them ain't looking too good. So, you know, they kept trying to glide over the whole plot thing. So let's get to the plot. So they kept trying to glide over the whole plot thing. And with the plot thing, they kept wanting to say it wasn't aired on the show. So they showed a clip of when they were all getting ready to go to Monique's summer home or the cabin. They showed Giselle over there. And so Chris Samuel was like, she was like, hey, is that Chase? He was like, yeah, who does he look like? She was like, he was like, who does he look like, Giselle? You? And he was like, yeah, he looks just like me, doesn't he? His dad, right? And she was like, well, who else wouldn't he look like? I don't like the fact that they kept talking about it and Monique's reaction, but they never talked about the fact that it wouldn't even be an issue if Candace hadn't brought it up. They never made her sit in there, and I think it's all about legalities, because remember my last one I said, they were supposed to have deaded that. Chris bust they butt. Chris said, this how you know money talk and bullshit walk. Chris said, nobody talked about it on the show? Oh, really? Nobody brought it up on the show? He looked at Rob. Rob said, I didn't say. First one, baby, I didn't bring it up on the show. Candace. Wendy. Karen. Who I'm missing? Ashley. Giselle, the last one sitting there with her wrinkled neck butt, just looking. Giselle. She gonna say, I'm not talking to you, to your ass. She said something. For a first lady, she got a foul mouth, baby. Her mouth was so foul on this 3rd episode, baby. You thought she was a streetwalker, baby. Because she was like, I'm not talking to your ass. Or, I'm not answering your MFing questions. Something she said to that effect. And Andy looked at her. Cue that beautiful being footage. She went and did it on camera under her production team, talking to Robin, Batman and Robin again, about the baby. Andy was like, y'all finna get me sued. Because, first of all, I told y'all, shut the hell up. We said, do not bring this up, and yet y'all ass went ahead and did it. And not only that, Giselle talked about it in her confessional, talked about the trainer. All that still, she may not say the baby on them, but all that still went in line with the fact that the trainer was the daddy of the baby. All this so semantics. Baby, when they showed Giselle said, well, I thought it was part of their storyline. They brought it up, so I just ran. They was like, oh, okay then. Whatever. And Andy, you could tell Andy was getting nervous. He was like, we've talked about this for 4 hours. Can we move on? Andy needed to move on because he didn't need the momentum to build on it. Because that mean they was going to have to bring Candace stuff in. That mean that Binder was going to come back out. And that mean lawsuits could possibly happen because it was supposed to have been deaded. See, y'all have to look at these shows It's just more than what they put in our face. And Chris knew what he was doing. When Chris walked out, he said, I'm finna go. He said, because y'all got me messed up. He said, y'all got me messed up. He said, so I'm going to go and take a breather because when he got up, everybody was like, oh, he's getting up. He's going to take. He was like, I'm finna go calm down. He said, because y'all got me messed up. I play chess, not checkers, baby. He was letting them know, I got y'all. I got y'all. Because y'all sat up here. So when it comes down to litigation, when it comes down to y'all want to say my wife this, y'all want to come back and sue my wife for that, Jamal on here with these empty promises, this, that, and the other, I got you. It's on national TV. It's recorded. And the production team ran that beautiful bean footage. And the thing about it was, it wasn't even Monique's production team. It was Giselle's and Robin's production team. Because you know in these shows, each lady has their own separate production team, which produces each scene that they're in. They edit, they cut, they tell them what they're going to do. They stage it, they do what they're going to do. So they travel with them. Just like when you get hair and makeup done and you got one team in the dressing room, that's their production team. So these people were just working together. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. When Robin and Giselle had that scene, that production team reached out to the other production team and said, didn't we get a letter? Because remember, Monique had letters showing where Bravo said, do not bring this up. And that production team either reached out to Andy, Bravo, and the other production team said, we're not supposed to show this, right? Because we're not supposed to even be talking about this on camera. They got nervous. And Bravo said, you recorded it, that's fine. We keep our recordings because we never know what may come back. And you don't know, Bravo might have tried to get them to raise it. They was like, nah, we're an independent contractor, so we keeping this for our protection. And because of that, and I guarantee you, when all this stuff start going down with these, Monique and Candace, with this back and forth in court, I bet you a whole lot of stuff got subpoenaed. A whole lot of tapes got released. And a whole lot of statements were taken. So, like Chris said, baby, I play chess. I ain't playing checkers. Y'all around here playing. That ain't what I'm doing. I'm letting you know. This ain't old to me. This new to y'all, but this ain't old to me, baby. So, you know, they just went on through and just closed out, and they were still Chris was still trying to bring it up. Now, I do feel like Chris kind of beat a dead horse at a point. It was like they weren't going to let you talk about it. They weren't going to let you do it. So, Chris moved on. But at the end of the day, was Monique vindicated? To a point. She did what she had to do. She apologized. She has a business. She has a family. Her husband is in a certain type of scene when it comes to, you know, wealthy people. You know, his name, you know, resonates in their community. So she had to do what Karen told her. You got to suck it up, baby. You messed up. So own it and move on. And even Monique, like I said, she apologized several times. Candace never accepted it. But see, that make you look stupid, Candace. Because instead of accepting it and saying, I accept your apology, you could have accepted it and then move forward, but you want to hold true to your hurt. I'm so hurt. I'm so devastated. But they going to mess around and use that against you, baby girl. You keep being, like Andy said, get your ass off Twitter. Your life would be so much better if you stayed off social media. When they get ready to fire you, when them numbers ain't looking good next season, because, Monique has said she's not coming back. Who you think the Green Eye Band is going after? They're going after Wendell Cepho. I'm going to tell you why they're not going to go at Wendy too hard, because Giselle says she's a soror. So Giselle going to tread lightly. But of course, see, Rob ain't going to have an issue with Wendy because of the colorism coming. But Giselle and Robin's goal was to get Monique and Candace off. So they played them against each other. So Candace, what you got left, boo? You ain't got nothing left. And you can't go up against both of them. And you done burn Karen. And Ashley sure ain't messing with you. You talking about a cast that's split. You got the Green Eye Bandits. You got Karen and Ashley. And then the only person you got left is Wendy. And she backpedaling so hard because she was Team Monique on Watch What Happens Live. So, you next, boo. Big dummy, you next. And you can't handle Giselle. I'm sorry, your mouth might be sharp. this, that, and other, but you ain't got the money, the time, the energy to even put it to Giselle. And you finna see how they finna treat you. But that was pretty much the end. Ray proposed to Karen and said about the 25th. He said, Robin, when you and Juan get married, because I don't want it to clash, because I'm giving my baby a 25-year vow renewal. Karen was so happy. I almost cried too, because you could tell she was surprised. And she was like, oh my God, you know, I always knew we would do it, but with so much going on. And she just knew that her husband loved her in that moment. Then Chris spoke up and he talked about how he loved his wife. The girl, baby, Giselle could have just in the sunken place. If she could have went into the sunken place like on Get Out, she would have been in a sunken place. That man talked about how he had not mistreated, but how he didn't value Monique like he should have, and all that she had did for the family, and how proud of her she was, and how they had been through so much, and she was a great mother and a great wife, and he loved her, baby, and then hugged and kissed her, baby. Giselle was like, roll, baby, you can roll your eyes all you want to, because at the end of the day, you laying next to a pillowcase. Robin, your dude ain't even there either. Y'all don't even holler sleep in the same room half the time. Karen and her man kissing and hugging. And Ashley could care less. Ashley like, baby, I'm finna have this baby and get my money. I'll find love later. I'm looking for stability, and I got it. And let me bring up a point. They talked about the friendships, how they were saying, well, Candace tried to throw Monique under the bus by saying, Monique talked about you and your husband real bad. She was telling that to Ashley, and Ashley was like, well, and Andy was like, how do you feel about this? She was like, well, she probably did. She said, but one thing about Monique is that she knows mostly all of my secrets, and not once has she ever revealed them. And then Monique said, that's the type of friend I am. And then you got Candace. Ain't that nice? You know, you just couldn't win, Candace. Now you the villain. Now you the villain. You the villain. But that was it. And, you know, like I said, Monique is not coming back. I get it. I understand, girl. Go on. I think you could do your own show, Monique. Really, I would love for Monique and Portia to link up and just do something. Outside, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a talk show, whatever, their personality is so quirky, they bounce well off of each other. Y'all link up and do something and really show Giselle and Candace how it's supposed to be done, grown women style. And, you know, but that's all I got. So like, subscribe, and share this video. Don't forget to catch me on Facebook, Instagram, my webpage, www.creativeconcepts-events.com. Leave some comments down below. Just whatever. It was a good reunion. It was a good reunion. I'm happy. I'm proud. I'm content. You know, it's going to be interesting next season. It's going to be really, because now the internal battle within is really finna come to head, because Karen made a boss ass move and then back down. Yes, I called your boss. And they listened. So Giselle knows, damn, she made a boss move. Checkmate. So it's going to be real interesting. So you guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.